walking through the trails of our property, feeling all that, when you're walking, I can feel the grass just brushing by my legs, and you get nicked by a pokey branch and you get a scratch, and it just feels good to get scratched, and a mosquito or a bird, or you hear the birds fluttering, and you see a little critter go across the path, and there's so much life in the forest. For the most part, creating something from memory is sort of how I get my ideas. So, I have this bag of things that I've seen in my life, in all of nature and walking in all these different places, and I do take photos here and there, but it's mostly the sensation. My name is Giselle Denis, and I'm a painter. My family is very supportive of what I do. I grew up in a painter's family. My mother's a painter. So I really learned at a young age how to draw depth perception. I really learned a lot from watching her when she was holding me in her arms as a baby. Well, with Quinn, now that I have my own son, who's going to be 4 anyway, I don't even know how old he was when I started painting with him, really young, under a year. Well, one of his favorite paintings, it's the same story every time, and every time he shows it to people that come over, look at my painting, it's on a canvas. It's the same thing I made. It's a dinosaur with the blue ocean around it with some flowers, and he tells me exactly what it is. And usually every painting he can tell me what he painted. And sometimes, I don't know, and then he'll think about it. It's a train, Mom. And then I hang them all up and I date them all on the back and write his age and kind of the idea behind it. And I ask him, which way does it go, Quinn? And he'll tell, that's the top. Okay, so I'll make sure I mark it on the back, this is the top. So I know this is how he intended and how he made it. Yeah, I get a lot of my ideas, I don't know, sometimes I work from life, so I'll be painting a scene that I'm standing at, and I've learned to be able to paint out of my head, meaning, I've incorporated all the things that I've seen, and it's sort of like I have like a bank in my head, and I don't really think much when I'm painting. Because thinking is more on the left side of the brain, where feeling is more on the right side, so you're more just feeling it when you're painting. So choosing color and then mixing on the palette and mixing on I'm not really thinking too much into it. You might not necessarily see these scenes in nature. You might not necessarily see that kind of flower with that kind of flower with that kind of flower next to each other, but that's not, the idea isn't to, this is exactly how it grows in nature. The idea is just, pops of color, texture, movement. Movement is so important in my paintings, because nature's always moving. It's always growing. It's always being blown by the wind. It's always being moved by an animal, by a fly or whatever. It's always moving. So moving and alive and looking like you see something different every time you look at it. Something you didn't see before. You've had the painting for how long in your house, and then I never noticed that before. But and just let it kind of always be growing in your house. I am so blessed to be able to do what I love every day. That I get to paint every day, be at home with my family, raise my son, play with paint, show my art to people who I really do get a great reaction from people seeing me paint and getting how they get so much joy out of the images that I'm painting, and coming from my heart and then having them receive it in such a positive way is so amazing. I get complimented all the time, like who's gonna say that? It's pretty great. So it's really truly a blessing to do this, and I wouldn't want to do anything else.
I love her art. It's certainly something that I can see myself hanging up in my place. I love the colors of it, the texture of it, and how the flowers pop out.
It's been really great seeing her out here painting, and actually the first day she came in I was like, wow, she looks so much like her art. Like she looks like the embodied person of what she paints.
I'm a regular at Credo Coffee Shop, which is really great for me because now Giselle's art is hanging in there, so I get to see it every day. I hope her new piece will be in there or hopefully on my wall one day.